Okay, you've got a cool remix you've been working on. Why don't we take a listen to a little bit of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Earth and Stars demo session that's been around since we introduced Pro Tools 11. Thought we'd have a little fun with it, kind of take the vocal and maybe kind of reinterpret some things and do a little something different with it. So this is what we've got so far.
You get a rush from her eyes. You like feeding the fire.
So you can see it's a little bit more aggressive, not quite so bouncy, poppy sounding. So the first thing we want to do is decide, okay, what tracks out of this project do we want to share with our collaboration partners?
Sure, because you've got some virtual instruments, you've got MIDI, you've got audio.
Yeah, I've got a lot of different things going on here. Now, I don't necessarily want to share all of the raw tracks. I mean, for what I wanted from you, Tom, since it's the guitars and the bass parts, I mean, you basically just need some what we would consider stem tracks to kind of play along with. Now, with the session's set up where I've got kind of all the different food groups of the instruments going through their own subgroup boxes, just happening live right now. And we've added some really cool new tools, starting with 12.3 with the new commit feature and then 12.4 with freeze, that basically allow us to take tracks and render them down, put the processing in place, either as a new track or as a placeholder on the exact track that it is. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to actually select the drums, the keyboards, and the vocal tracks, and we're going to right-click on those with due to selected invoked, and we're going to freeze those auxes. And basically what it's going to do now is it's going to go through in faster than real time, and it's going to render everything that's going through those auxes down as a rendered audio file, but on that aux track. And what that's going to allow me to do once that's finished is I can then share those auxes with the rendered audio, plus select the other subgroup auxes, so basically the guitar and the bass and the submaster aux that you'll be playing through. All those things can be then shared at one time, and you'll have kind of some starting point to be able to hear what those guitar and bass parts need to be done. So I've selected all those. We're gonna, once again, do to selected, and now we're gonna start to share. Now if we bring up our task manager, you'll actually start to see that all of that is now uploading into the cloud. Obviously some tracks faster than others because they were just auxes, but then we've got the rendered frozen tracks that are now uploading all the audio media that's on those, and it's going to go start pushing that all up to the cloud. Now on your system, Tom, if you actually brought up your task manager, that it's already starting, because you're associated with the project, it's already starting to see that information that's going up into the cloud. You're actually seeing that activity as well in your task manager. So once all that finishes on my end, and then it finishes on your end, then you should be able to download those tracks into your project over on your system.
So this is actually happening in the background. I could be doing other stuff,
Absolutely.
setting up. In fact, let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's bring in my blank tracks of my guitar and bass, and we'll use import session data to do that. So we'll go ahead quickly here, and we'll go to the desktop, and I have my template ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just quickly select these as new track for all three. Again, these are my plugins, my routing, all the way I like to work with bass and guitar tracks. I'm just going to bring that into the project, and there we go. All my stuff's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and grab my bass.
Sure, okay. And you're using the Avid Pro Tools Quartet as your interface, right?
Yeah, so this is my DI into Pro Tools, that's correct, and my monitor section. So the task manager is done.
Yes.
And we're ready to download all new tracks. So I just hit that one single button, and here we go. It restores all the tracks, and I can see your frozen auxes ready to go. And now my routing should be complete on my bass. And we've got all my plugins, we're ready to go, and I'm ready to record this bass part.
Awesome. So we'll go ahead and let you do that, and then
check back in a minute.
That's right.
All right, so we just recorded the bass part, and as you can see, Gil, I'm a one-take guy. It's perfectly ready to go.
Awesome.
I'm going to take it out of record, and I'm going to go ahead and hit that same button you were talking about, which is the single track collab button.
Right.
And you'll notice the state plate turned green, and my task manager is now uploading that bass part as we speak. So while that's going, I'm gonna go over there and grab the guitar, and we'll get ready to record the guitar part for you.
Awesome. So we're downloading, and we'll come back as soon as this thing gets uploaded.
All right, so now that Tom's uploaded that part to the cloud, Task Manager's all cleared out, now I can come over here and click the Download New Tracks button, and we'll download that bass part into our project on my side. So we look here, there's the bass part. I want to go ahead and move this up to where, up here near where my synth bass is, and play a little bit and hear what we got. So you can hear that bass part kind of helps kind of fill out that synth bass. It's you get the nice punchiness of the synth bass, but that the real bass part just kind of helps fill all that in. So that's awesome. So we've got that, and so I think Tom is actually ready to cut a guitar part.
That's right. So I got my Les Paul here. Got my sound ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this part, Gil, and when we come back, I'll be uploading that part, and maybe you can make some changes on the bass part.
Absolutely.
All right, Gil, I went ahead and recorded the main guitar rhythm part, and I added a little fill part as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and share both of those tracks with you.
Okay.
That's gonna start uploading. I understand you've been trying out some stuff on the bass.
Yeah, so you used the new 11 Mark II killer guitar amp simulation plugin, but with the new Mark II version that just came out recently, we've now got bass amps in here too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of playing around with some of the settings and stuff. I actually want to come down here. I'm going to change the microphone from a 57. I'm going to go ahead and change that to the condenser U67. I'm going to take off the speaker breakup and maybe take off a little bit of the enhanced low end.
Yeah, now you'll notice on my screen that because Gil is actually editing that track, the state plate is red with his name. That means you're taking control of it, right?
That's right, and on my end, it's got my name with a state plate in green, plus I've also got a green upload arrow. So I can basically come over here and click the upload arrow on just that track, and it will start to upload just those changes.
Okay. Now, because this is not really sending any audio, it's essentially just sending volume or plug-in changes that you did. You can see on my side, it lights up very quickly, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit download, and if you watch the plugin, you should see those knobs change. I could see that you changed the microphone, you brought the speaker breakup, and the U low switches down as well.
That's right. One more thing I do want to change on the bass part is, I mean, you had a good little fade out there, but I'm gonna go ahead and add an actual fade file to make sure it kind of fades down into nothing. And I'm going to go ahead and push that change over as well. So you should be able to, once that comes over, you should be able to grab that change.
Okay,
And,
I can see it's downloading. And within a second or so, I get the download. I'm going to go ahead and click that, and now I got your new fade part.
Right. So I can also see up here at the top that I've got new tracks to download. I guess those are those guitars that you did. So I'm going to go ahead and let's click download new tracks. Brings those guitar parts in down here at the bottom. Let's go ahead and drag those up near the bass parts, kind of keep our session nice and tidy.
And all the routing should match your auxes, correct?
That's right, because we had actually shared all those auxes earlier, and you've been using that busing structure. Now, one thing to mention is that I had originally shared the drums and the keyboard and the vocal aux frozen, and that gave you basically those stems. But I still want to be able to hear that on my side in real time. So basically, what I've done is I've actually
Unfrozen them over here.
So basically, I'm back to using real-time through auxiliary buses. So I'm actually hearing everything while I'm mixing through it. But you still have access to the stems because I haven't shared those changes over.
Cool. Let's check out the guitar parts.
All right, here we go. That's nice.
That's one of the new models on 11 Mark II.
Wow, that is a really, really great sounding plugin. I mean, it was great before, but now with all these new models and things, it really does take it to a whole nother level. All right, so you can see we're kind of taking this and we're making it a little more aggressive, a little more rock oriented. I think what the next thing I'd like to do actually is maybe create some more movement. I mean, we've kind of taken that piano part and kind of made it pulsing, but I think would be some really cool to do some loops and maybe some loop treatment to this. And one of the coolest guys that I know that does that is our buddy Jeff in Madison. So what we want to do now is we're going to basically see if we can't get him on a Skype chat. One of the nice things is eventually we would like to have AV chat in our artist chat window. It's not going to be available in version 1, but there's a lot of really great off-the-shelf audio and video chat programs out there, FaceTime, Skype. We're going to use Skype.
All right, so we're ready to dial in Jeff here. We're going to get him on Skype, and we're also going to add him as a third collaborator, which, you know, if you were doing this over Dropbox and email and trying to combine sessions, it could get really messy.
Absolutely, really quick. So we're going to go up here to the Add Collaborator button on the Edit page, and we're going to click that. It's going to bring up our artist chat and basically bring up our list of connected collaborators. Jeff's screen name is Radcliffe Road, so I'm going to go ahead and select him, and we'll go ahead and add him as a collaborator to the project. Now, we're going to go ahead and switch over to Skype, and let's get him on Skype chat. Hey, Jeff, how's it going, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, is it cold out there in Wisconsin?
Dude, it's always cold.
Hey, listen, I just sent you an invitation to collaborate on a project that Tom and I have been working on. It's the
Earth and the Stars track
from Kelly Malone. We've kind of basically taken it and we're doing more of an aggressive kind of rock alternative thing to it.
Okay.
And we've basically added, changed the drums around, done some things to the keyboard parts. Tom's added some guitars and some bass to it. We're in a really good place, but we really want to kind of take it to the next level. And with your percussion chops and what you do with kind of sound design treatment and things, I think it'd be really cool if maybe you could come up with a really cool kind of percolating percussion part or any kind of suggestions that you might have.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I can try some. I can try some different tambourines or shakers or different types of percussion. See what works and throw some ideas back at you.
All right, that's great. So I'll go ahead and let you join the project, download everything, and get to work on something. And we'll check back with you on text chat here in a bit.
Okay. Sounds great.
All right. Thanks, man.
Cool.
So just to be clear, Gil, you didn't share any new tracks with Jeff, but he's going to get all the tracks that are already shared.
That's right. So basically everything that we've pushed on both my side and your side up to the project in the cloud, when he goes and downloads that project, he will get all those tracks.
Okay, let's check back with him in a few minutes.
All right, awesome. All right, so Jeff's actually sent us a text.
And we can see in your task manager that you've actually started to receive it as a download, even as he's uploading it, right?
Yep, that's right. So basically, we've got the download happening now. All right, so we've got, looks like we've got Jeff's tambourine track down now. Let's go ahead and move that up with the rest of my percussive elements here in the session.
So it looks like he sent you an audio file with a kind of a bit in the beginning and in the end, right?
Yeah, so let's take a listen to and see what we kind of have there for a second. That's actually really cool. It's a tambourine track, but it looks like he's got some really cool treatment on it. Now, think about it though. It looks like it's like over the entire intro, and it looks like it's going over the entire chorus. I'm going to bring up the actual chat window.
And let's go ahead and ask him to maybe do some edits to the part that he's already done. So right now he's got the loop going all the way through both the intro and the chorus. So maybe if he would maybe do some edits to that, maybe kind of clean up some of that, that would kind of help. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to send this text chat over to him, and let's see what he comes up with.
All right, so Jeff's responding. He's going to work on it, and then so basically he'll do some edits, and then as soon as those edits are done, he'll push some changes over to us, and we'll see what we got.
All right, we've got some changes coming over in the task window now, and our download arrow is turned green on the track. So let's click that and see what we've got.
All right, so now it looks like we've got the changes. It basically looks like he has gone through and kind of split those parts in half, both in the intro and the chorus. And he's actually done a really cool thing. Instead of deleting these clips, he basically muted them out, so at any given time we can always go back, unmute things, and use them as we need to.
Yeah, so really a great overview of the power of collaboration inside of Pro Tools, totally integrated. All the file management's being handled, and you were able to make changes, really subtle things, whether it's a plugin setting, a volume setting, an edit, a fade, and those types of back and forth couldn't happen with email and Dropbox type import session data workflows.
Not really. It would have been really, really difficult to be able to kind of keep up with those things and make sure that, especially with multiple collaborators, and being able to merge all that data and keep it all straight.
All right, so we hope that this overview of Pro Tools Cloud Collaboration has been helpful, and let's see you online and collaborating soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks.